Hey guys, so this is a video that is going to help you with operations of rational numbers. A rational number is a number that can be written as a fraction or a ratio. For example, 0.5 or 5/10 can be written as 1/2. So it is a rational number. Integers include all whole numbers and their opposites. For example, 4 and -4. Since 4 can be written as 4/1, it is also a rational number. Therefore, all integers are rational numbers, making the rules of integers the same for rational numbers. When given a problem with more than one operation, there is a certain order to follow so you do not get the wrong answer. A trick to help you remember this is PEMDAS. P stands for parentheses. E stands for exponents. M stands for multiplication. D stands for division. A stands for addition. And S stands for subtraction. However, something that is important to remember is when you have multiplication and division, you always work from left to right. The same rule goes for addition and subtraction, left to right. Now, let's look at a problem that involves order of operations in rational numbers. I'm going to use PEMDAS to help me solve. I look for parentheses. I see I have 3 sets of parentheses, however, there are no operations to complete in the parentheses. Exponents. I do not see any exponents, so I can move on. Multiplication and division. I see that division comes first, so I'm first going to solve -6 divided by -3/4. Now, I'm going to rewrite this on the side. -6 divided by -3/4. I know when dividing fractions, the rule is keep, change, flip. So I'm going to keep the -6, change the division sign to a multiplication sign, and flip my fraction, -4/3. Then I multiply straight across. I can put the -6/1 because -6 was a whole number. -6 times -4 is a positive 24 because a negative times a negative is a positive. 1 times 3 is 3. So I get 24/3, which can reduce to 8. So I'm going to put an 8 under here since I just did -6 divided by -3/4 and bring everything else down. Now I continue to look at my operations. I see I still have multiplication, so next I am going to complete the multiplication. -7/16 times 3 1/3. Sometimes it's easier to convert your mixed number into an improper fraction. So you follow the arrow, you times the denominator by the whole number, so 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 gives you 10. So -7/16 times 10 over, and I keep my denominator 3. -7 times 10 equals -70 over 16 times 3, which equals 48. I'm now going to bring down the 8 plus my answer from the multiplication problem, which was -70/48. And all I have left to do is add. Now I know when I am adding fractions, I need a common denominator. So I'm going to erase my scrap work. And I'm going to rewrite this on the side. 8 plus -70/48. Now, I'm going to put my whole number over 1, so both of my numbers now have a denominator. And I can see that a common denominator would be 48. So I times the bottom by 48, and I times the top by 48. And I am left with 384 over 48 plus negative 70 over 48. Now I follow the rules of addition. I know when my signs are different, I subtract the numbers and keep the sign of the larger number. So 384 minus 70, I'll do that on the side. 384 minus 70 gives me 314. So I know my numerator is equal to 314. I'm keeping my numerator positive because 384 is larger than 70, so 314 over 48. Now I don't want to keep my answer as an improper fraction, so I'm going to convert it to a mixed number. 48 goes into 314 6 times with 26 left over. However, I see that I can still reduce this mixed number, and I can divide both of these by 2. So my final answer would be 6 and 13/24. Please reference this video anytime you feel you are stuck on solving problems with rational numbers.